guys, Gage from ARG, and today we're going to be talking about Nekroz, you know, the deck that no one plays. Now looking at the top 32 standings of YCS Tacoma, which 22 out of the 32 slots were filled by Nekroz decks, I think it's pretty safe to say that Nekroz, you know, they're alright, I guess. So with the deck becoming a meta deck, a lot of side deck options are going to be put into place to fight against this deck. That's just the way it works. So today let's break down the individual aspects the deck contains and the ways to combat each of those individual aspects. Let's get into it. So one of the main aspects of the deck, and one of the first that came to light, was the fact that the deck just tutors out everything. You got blue cards that tutor out blue cards that in turn tutor out green cards. You've even got green cards that tutor out those blue cards, which in turn can tutor out more blue cards, or which can tutor out orange cards. And even in one case, you have a green card that tutors out a white card that then tutors out a blue or a green card. That's like the whole rainbow. So there's a lot of searching and adding from the deck to the hand in the Nekroz deck. So what are some side deck options to combat that? One of the more obvious choices being Mistake, but if you want to play something that doesn't hurt your strategy as much, you can play something along the one side and Shared Ride. Now while Mistake will just completely shut out their strategy, Shared Ride will give you a whole bunch of cards to your strategy, provided they can't OTK you. And more than likely, if the Nekroz player knows they can't OTK you, they'll just stop right there. And if you're lucky, you might grab one or two cards out of the mix, which is pretty nice. A hand trap that serves the same purpose as Droll and Lockbird, something I haven't seen played in Spellbook format. Now Droll and Lockbird can be a bit shaky, it could be considered a lot worse than Mistake, but the fact that it's a hand trap makes it not susceptible to MST, something that Mistake and also Shared Ride during the end phase don't have. All three of these cards are good for combating the aspect of the constant searching the Nekroz deck has. Another aspect of the deck that's pretty obvious is that since it's a ritual-based deck, it has to use ritual spell cards to bring out these big-ass ritual monsters. And since ritual summons are considered special summons, Vanity's Fiend, Vanity's Emptiness, they're both very good cards in combating that. But if you want a monster or a card that's not susceptible to basic outs like even Mystical Space Typhoon, Snatch, Steal, Raigeki, you can always go with Spell Cancel. Spell Cancel, while it is a tribute summon monster just alongside Vanity's Fiend, it does have the purpose where it's not able to be taken by Snatch, Steal, Raigeki, or any of these other basic outs. Vanity's Emptiness, of course, has that charm of being a trap card, something that Vanity's Fiend and Spell Canceler are. Surprise. These three cards I mentioned are arguably just as good as solving the other problem with the searching, because if you stop what they do with the searching, what exactly are they searching for? Of course you could bring up the point where they're deck thinning if they're searching, but you could also bring up the point, well, if they search for a Trishula and they can't special summon Trishula, they essentially searched for nothing. And at that point, it's player's preference. If you play Burning Abyss, I would personally probably play Vanity's Fiend or Spell Cancel, because I have easy ways to tribute summon. However, if I play a deck like Shadol's or something, I could easily just put in the Shared Rides or Mistake, because Mistake doesn't hurt my strategy as much as some other decks. It's all player's preference at that point at what you see is more devastating. Another aspect that the Nekroz deck has is it can create soft locks with Djinns and Nekroz of Unicorn, something a lot of decks can't really accomplish. Some simple ways to counter this strategy is, of course, the one main decked Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse, or if you're way too much of a budget player, Swords of Concealing Light can do the exact same thing. Now, while Swords of Concealing Light is susceptible to MST, something that Book of Eclipse is not, if you can't manage to get over their board with your mass amount of board, it is something that keeps their monsters face down. Again, that's if it doesn't get hit by a Mystical Space Typhoon. Granted, you really shouldn't be playing Book of Eclipse if you can't get over their board anyways. It's just a thought. And finally, one of the more scary aspects of the deck is its aggression, mainly with Trishula. Some easy ways to counter Trishula is, of course, you can start side decking Effect Veiler if you're really that frightened of it. Or if you want to get really specific, you can side that Mirror of Trishula thing. It was a common released in Starstrike Blast. I'm pretty sure it doubles the effect back on your opponent. Also, a simple thing you can do is manage exactly where your cards are. If you keep your hand clean, Trishula can't resolve. If you're playing Clifflords, it can be pretty easy to keep your graveyard clean. And if your graveyard's clean, Trishula can't resolve. Keeping your field clean isn't exactly a great idea, but you could do it. 4 key aspects of the deck covered. If you're really scared of one of them, you could pick from that list of few side cards. Whether you're scared of them bringing out the big monsters, whether you're scared of them having the insane consistency of just searching everything from the deck, whether you're scared of being just soft-locked out of the game, or just scared of Trishula, there's always an option to stop Nekroz. The few that I mentioned are just few from a list of many. There are some other notable ones like Mind Drain, as well as Mask of Restrict. It's whatever you want to do. A deck is never too broken that there's not a way to stop it. And Nekroz is no exception. You just gotta think creatively and side appropriately. ARG stands for Atrociously Robust Giraffes. It also conveniently stands for Ultra Reality Games. If you want to read articles written by the top players, you want to attend high-level events, you want to buy and sell goods, alterrealitygames.com. Also, don't forget to like our Facebook fan page and subscribe to our Twitch stream if you haven't already. However, as always, I thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. Gage from ARG, signing out.